Listen closely to the sound of your own breath for a moment. It is a steady, rhythmic miracle that we often ignore, yet it is the very first thing we should be grateful for as we sit here together at the edge of another year. We are standing at a threshold, a thin line between the memories of the past 12 months and the unwritten pages of the year to come. Often, as the calendar turns, we feel a sense of rush or a pressure to achieve. But today I want to invite you to slow down and explore a practice that is much deeper than a simple, polite gesture. I want to talk about gratitude not just as a word, but as a spiritual practice that possesses the raw power to transform your everyday reality. Think back to the very beginning of this year. Can you remember the person you were in January? Perhaps you had resolutions that fell through, or perhaps you faced storms you never saw coming. Gratitude is the light that allows us to look back at those storms and see not just the rain, but the way the water allowed us to grow. It is easy to be thankful when the sun is shining and our pockets are full, but the true spiritual transformation happens when we find the strength to say thank you in the middle of the shadows. Science tells us that gratitude literally rewires our brains. When we practice thankfulness, we stimulate the production of dopamine and serotonin, the natural feel-good chemicals that improve our mood and reduce stress. But beyond the biology, there is a spiritual frequency to gratitude. It is a signal we send to the universe, a declaration that we recognize the abundance already present in our lives. When you focus on what you lack, you create a vacuum of scarcity. But when you focus on what you have, the warmth of a cup of coffee, the safety of a roof, the ability to listen to these words, you begin to attract more reasons to be thankful. Consider the complexity of a single day. From the moment your eyes open, 1,000 things go right just so you can function. Your heart beats without your permission. Your lungs expand. The floor holds your weight. We often reserve our gratitude for the big things, the promotions, the weddings, the grand victories. But a spiritual life is built on the foundation of the small. If we cannot find the divine in the steam rising from a morning tea, we will likely miss it in the grand cathedrals of our lives. This year has likely brought you both peaks and valleys. I want you to look at those valleys now. Think of a moment this year when you felt broken, or perhaps just exhausted. In that moment, it felt like the end. But here you are, you survived. You learned that you are more resilient than you ever imagined, that survival is a reason for a profound, quiet gratitude. It is the gratitude of the survivor, the one who knows that the fire didn't consume them, but rather refined them. Reflect on the people who crossed your path this year. Some were there to love you, and some were there to teach you. Be grateful for the friends who held your hand, but also find a space of gratitude for the people who challenged you, who pushed your buttons, or who even walked away. They were mirrors showing you where you still needed to heal, where you needed to set boundaries, and where you needed to grow in self-love. Every encounter was a spiritual lesson wrapped in a human interaction. As the year winds down, we often feel the weight of what we didn't accomplish. We look at our to-do lists and see the empty checkboxes. But what if we shifted the lens? What if we looked at the unseen deliverances, the things that didn't happen? Think about the times you were delayed in traffic. You were frustrated, checking your watch, angry at the world. But you have no idea what that 5-minute delay saved you from. Perhaps a mile down the road, an accident occurred that you avoided because of that annoying delay. Think about the job you didn't get, the one you cried over. Maybe that company went under months later, or maybe that environment would have crushed your spirit. We spend so much time mourning the no that we forget to be grateful for the protection that no provided. There is a divine architecture to our lives, and often the things we think are obstacles are actually guardrails keeping us on the right path. Let's talk about the spiritual practice of the empty space. Sometimes gratitude is about being thankful for what didn't happen. We didn't get sick when the flu went around. The car didn't break down when we were short on cash. The misunderstanding didn't escalate into a permanent rift. These are the silent miracles. They don't make noise. They don't get posted on social media, but they are the fabric of a blessed life. As the end of the year approaches, take a moment to walk through your home and look at the objects around you. Each one has a story. The chair that rests your tired body, the window that lets in the light, the books that expanded your mind. When we treat our environment with gratitude, the environment begins to feel sacred. You are no longer just living in a house. You are dwelling in a sanctuary of your own making. Real-life stories of gratitude often emerge from the darkest places. Consider the story of a woman who lost her job in the middle of the year. She was a single mother, and the fear was paralyzing. For weeks, she could only see the lack. But one evening, her young son thanked her for the pancakes and the laughter they shared for dinner. He didn't see the lack of a steak. He saw the presence of his mother and the joy of a simple meal. That moment shifted her spirit. She began to lead with gratitude. Every time she sent out a resume, she whispered a prayer of thanks for the skills she had acquired. She thanked the companies that interviewed her, even when they turned her down for the opportunity to practice her craft. By the end of the year, she found a position that paid more and allowed her more time with her son. The job didn't appear because she was lucky. It appeared because she changed her frequency from desperation to appreciation. Gratitude is the bridge between our current reality and our future dreams. When we are grateful for what we have, we tell the universe that we are a good steward of our blessings. Imagine giving a gift to a friend who complains about the color, the size, and the timing of the gift. Would you be inclined to give them more? Now imagine giving a gift to someone whose eyes light up, who uses it every day, and who expresses genuine joy. You would want to shower them with more. Life works in the same way. The practice of gratitude is not just about being nice. It is a strategic spiritual alignment. It shifts us from the energy of wanting, which is rooted in lack, to the energy of having, which is rooted in abundance. As the holidays draw near, the pressure to be happy can be overwhelming, but gratitude is not the same as a forced smile. It is a deep-seated acknowledgement of the value of life itself. Even if this year was a year of mourning for you, there is space for gratitude. Gratitude for the love you felt, which is why the loss hurts so much. Gratitude for the memories that stay when the person has gone. Gratitude for the strength that allows you to put one foot in front of the other, even when the ground feels shaky. This is the gratitude of the brave. It is the most powerful kind. It is the light that shines in the darkness, and the darkness cannot overcome it. Think about the unseen deliverances again. How many times did your intuition tell you to turn left instead of right? How many times did you lose your keys, only to find them 10 minutes later, and that delay kept you out of a storm? We are being looked after in ways we cannot comprehend. There is a grace that follows us, a grace that covers our mistakes and fills in the gaps of our inadequacies. When we recognize this, our anxiety begins to melt away. We realize we are not alone in this journey. We are part of a grand, beautiful, and complex design. The end of the year is a time of harvest. We gather the fruits of our labor, but we also gather the seeds of our experiences. Every tear you cried this year is a seed of empathy for someone else's struggle. Every failure is a seed of wisdom for your next venture. Every moment of loneliness is a seed of self-discovery. Do not throw any of it away. Bring it all into the house of gratitude. As you look forward to the new year, do not just make a list of things you want to get. Make a list of how you want to be. I want to be grateful. I want to be present. I want to be a source of light for others. When you approach the future with a heart of thanks, you don't need to fear the unknown. The same grace that carried you through this year will be there waiting for you on January 1st. It will be there in the first sunrise and the first breath of the new year. It will be there in the challenges and the celebrations. Gratitude is a spiritual muscle. Like any muscle, it requires exercise. You might start with a gratitude journal, writing down 3 things every night. Or perhaps you start your day by placing your hand on your heart and saying thank you for 3 minutes before you even get out of bed. At first, it might feel mechanical. You might struggle to find things to be thankful for. But as you continue, your gratitude eyes will open. You will start to see the beauty in the peeling paint of an old building, the kindness in a stranger's nod, the miracle of a clean glass of water. Your life won't necessarily change overnight, but your experience of it will. And when your experience changes, your reality must follow. Think of the livramentos you have experienced this year. The word implies a release, a freeing. Think of the toxic relationships that ended. At the time, it felt like a rejection, Now, with the perspective of the year's end, you can see it was a deliverance. You were being freed from a situation that was stagnant or harmful. Think of the health scare that turned out to be nothing. That moment of fear was a deliverance into a deeper appreciation for your body. Think of the financial tight spot that forced you to be creative. That was a deliverance from complacency. We are constantly being shaped and guided. As we move into the final weeks of the year, I want you to perform a ritual of release and recognition. For every difficult memory, find one lesson you are grateful for. For every success, find the people you are grateful to. For every moment of peace, find a way to be grateful to yourself for creating that space. We are moving toward better days. The light is returning. The days will begin to lengthen, and our hope will begin to widen. Gratitude is the fuel for this journey. It is the wind in our sails. It doesn't just change how we feel, it changes how we move through the world. A grateful person is a powerful person because they cannot be easily discouraged. They know that even in the no, there is a yes waiting somewhere else. They know that even in the ending, there is a beginning. Take a deep breath. Feel the life coursing through your veins. You are a miracle. Your life is a story being written by a master author. And you are the protagonist who is learning, growing, and becoming more beautiful with every chapter. Be grateful for the plot twists. Be grateful for the supporting characters. Be grateful for the setting. As the lights of the year-end celebrations begin to twinkle, let the light within you shine even brighter. Let your thank you be your most frequent prayer. Let it be the last thing you say at night and the first thing you say in the morning. May you enter the new year with a heart that is wide open. May you carry the lessons of the past with honor and look to the future with hope. Remember that you are protected, you are guided, and you are deeply loved by the very essence of life itself. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the door to a life of abundance. Turn that key today. As the clock ticks toward midnight on the final day, do not look back with regret. Look back with a bow of respect for all that has transpired. Every moment was necessary. Every challenge was a stepping stone. Every joy was a glimpse of your true nature. You are arriving at the finish line of this year not as a victim of circumstances, but as a victor of spirit. May your days be filled with the quiet realization that you are blessed beyond measure. May you find the hidden treasures in the ordinary moments. May you feel the protection that surrounds you, the livramentos that keep you safe, and the love that never lets you go. The best is not just yet to come. The best is already here, hidden in your ability to appreciate this very moment. Let the power of gratitude transform your everyday life into a masterpiece of spiritual connection and joy. Carry this warmth with you into the coming year, and watch as the world reflects that light back to you in ways you never dreamed possible. If you love this story and want to hear more like it, please hit that subscribe button. It truly means the world to us and helps us grow. And hey, while you're at it, let's aim for 50 likes on this video. Help us smash that goal.